That's weird, bro.
Ain't nothing. What's weird about this?
Because she's only 8. She don't need to be in the kitchen learning how to cook.
My daughter know how to cook like any other
Bro,
female.
she in here seasoning chicken.
What's
How
wrong
does
with
she?
this?
Listen, you got her cutting up broccolini.
You don't want your daughter to know how to cook? Don't you know how to cook at a young age? What you
It doesn't matter. My mom taught me how to cook, not my
I
dad.
don't need her to depend on nobody when she get grown. She don't need to depend on
Okay,
nobody.
so I just don't want you in here teaching her how to cook. Simple.
Right
She asking you a fucking question.
Right there, cut it right there. It's cool. Fuck, you sitting
And
there.
then you just sitting here not doing shit. You can't at least make the noodles?
No, you haven't been making fucking noodles.
You in here not doing nothing. You just sitting around looking fucking crazy. Got this little girl in here cooking.
Yes,
Then she leaving stuff like you think you know what you talking about. You don't know what you talking about.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just don't again.
Do how you do it. Do it, cut it how you cut it. Don't worry about
What
it.
is y'all leaving in here? What are y'all cooking?
Don't worry.
No, because why do you have her in the kitchen cooking? You don't think that's weird? You don't think that's weird, bro?
Ain't nothing. What's weird about this?
Because she's only 8. She don't need to be in the kitchen learning how to
My
cook.
daughter know how to cook like any other
Bro,
female.
she in here seasoning chicken.
What's
How
wrong
does
with
she?
this?
Listen, you got her cutting up broccolini.
You don't want your daughter to know how to cook? Don't you know how to cook at a young age? What you
It
know how to
doesn't
do?
matter. My mom taught me how to cook, not my
I don't
dad.
need her to depend on nobody when she get grown. She don't need to depend on
Okay,
nobody.
so I just don't want you in here teaching her how to cook. Simple.
right there.
She asking you a fucking question.
Right there, cut it right there. It's cool. Fuck, you sitting
And then you just sitting here not doing shit. You can't at least make the noodles?
Now you haven't been making fucking noodles.
You in here not doing nothing. You just sitting around looking fucking crazy. Got this little girl in here cooking.
Yes,
Then you
Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I would like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. Blessings and safety to the Lord's elect, man. All right. And the Israelite woman, man, she's done, man. Okay. She's damn done. Okay. And this is why, our apostles, our elders of Great Millstone, they encourage us younger, Akim, man, to stay far away from the so-called black woman. All right. Just stay far away from her, man. All right. Now, to each his own, man. Where there's no law, there's no sin. A man and his woman is a man and his woman, But when you deal with her, this is a type of, shit you got to be ready for, man. All right. Now, here it is, you got the father, teaching his daughter how to cook, which, she's supposed to be in the damn kitchen teaching her daughter how to cook, man. When you go into the word family, it means, a house full of servants, man. Pretty much everyone served the father. The father got a son, his sister, she makes sure, hey, man, these women, women mean servant. When the Lord, was talking to Adam, he told him he'll give him a helpmeet, which helpmeet is a servant, man. There's no other way to put it, man. Woman means servant. Okay. So, like I said, man, he has the wrong concept. He said he's teaching his daughter how to cook. She don't have to depend on nobody else. When in all actuality, he should be teaching her that. So when she get to a certain age and, she becomes another man's woman or wife or whatever you want to call it in this society, man. Okay. She can have these traits, man. All right. The majority of these women don't know how to cook, man. All right, and I'm not talking about, going in the kitchen, throwing a burger in a frying pan and putting fries in the grease. That ain't cooking. I'm talking about cook, okay? Now, let's get Proverbs 22 and 6. And this is going to be a straight to the point lesson. I'm not going to, draw it out, man. It says, train up a child and the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. All right, now let's read this in the NLT. It says, direct your children on the right path, That is a right, is short for righteous path. Okay. You direct your child on the right path, man. Okay. This is the right path. You teach her how to cook, and when she, in today's society, they call it boyfriend, which that's wicked, so, when she gets a husband, she can already have those characteristics, man. That is a serious that is a favorable characteristic to have as a woman. You know, a lot of men won't even deal with a woman if they don't know how to cook. All right, you want to teach your daughter how to become a woman, and most of these women, the only qualities they have is the box. Okay, is the box, and that's it, man. The attic and the basement, that's it, man. Okay. You know, a lot of these women don't know how to cook, and if they do, they don't want to cook. Okay, you have to, go back and forth with them, a tug of war over can you just get a hot meal when you get off, because a lot of these women, they want to go to work for Esau and go hard for him, do all this damn overtime, and when they come home, they don't even want to fulfill their duties as a woman. Oh, matter of fact, let me play this video.
No, why? You have to do your duties forever, but she can stop being a wife as soon as you get married. As soon as you get married, she can say, go in there and cook your dinner your goddamn self. You punk ass motherfucker. And I wish you would divorce me and give me all this shit. So, you gotta keep on being a husband, but she can stop being a wife. And then it's to her advantage to be like this. If she don't have the right mentality, they have divorce parties now. They celebrate getting with a guy and breaking up with him and breaking him.
Damn. That's the point, man. These women, they don't want to serve, man. While a lot of these women, they bait men in, by cooking and doing all these things, man. But then once they become one, man, according to Esau society, man, they do that contract, man. The devil's contract, man. And next minute, she stopped being a damn wife, man. But you still got to be a husband, man. That's why it ain't worth marrying these women, man. You deal, man, But hey, man, I'm going to read this again, man. This Proverbs 22:6, it says, direct your children on the right path, and when they are older, they will not leave it, man. So, hey, man, what he was doing, he's teaching his daughter how to cook, and she has a problem with it, okay? The woman she has a problem with it, man, okay? She has an issue with her daughter learning how to cook, man. And it just goes to show you the mentality of majority of these Israelite women, man. Okay? Matter of fact, let's go to the book of Titus, man. We'll probably close out after this, man. Like I said, straight to the point, man. This Titus 2:4 in the KJV. It says, verse 3, it says, the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becoming holiness, not accusers, not false accusers, not giving too much wine, teachers of good things. All right. So, you women are supposed to be teachers of good things, man. Okay. You don't teach your daughter that, what one man won't do, another will, man. You don't teach your daughter that. That's wicked, man. All right. You're pretty much telling your daughter to be a adulteress. And not only that, you're teaching your daughter to be a whore. Okay. And there's judgments for those things, man. Okay, people not taking these things to heart, man. Okay, all right. Teachers are good things. All right, that is a righteous act. You teaching your daughter how to cook, and not only cook, you tell her when she get become some man's wife, she makes sure she cook for that man. She makes sure she be obedient to that man. Right? How to dress modest. See, the thing is this, man, in a lot of structure or family homes, man, these children are not being taught. So they mimic what they see. A lot of you women, you dress like whores, man. And then you wonder why when your daughter is, 10 or 11 years old, you're trying to dress her up modest, supposedly. And you going in her book bag, and then, she's rechanging when she get to school, man. And you getting calls from the school on why your daughter sent to school dressed like this. And you like, hold on, I sent her out. See, you have to teach them. A part of teaching is also, by your actions, not just what you say verbally. You have to show some action behind that too, man. When a man training up his son, man, his son is not only listening to the words that he's saying, he's also watching his father's actions. So your words have to match up with your actions, man, when you're dealing with children, okay? They already got, a lot of influence when they leave the homes. So you have to be on top of them, especially your young daughters, man. You got to watch over them, man, as the scriptures say. But it says that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste keepers at home, good and obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Lord be not blasphemy, man. So you women are supposed to be teaching your daughters how to become women, how to become servants to their husbands, to love their children, keepers at home, doing the laundry, cleaning the home, okay? Cooking and cleaning in the kitchen, okay? This is the hey, look, man. But our families are destroyed. Of course, the curses. This damn devil. Binding the strong man and then spoiling his goods, as the scriptures say. But see, the father in there, like I said, trying to teach his daughter how to cook at 8 years old. So, by the time she's 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, man, she should be cooking, full course meals. But then you got the Israelite woman. All right. As the scriptures say, every, wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish, plucketh it down with her hands. This is a prime example of a woman, plucking down her own house with her hands, man. She got the whole structure, the man there, okay? And, see, a wise woman, okay, what came in the kitchen and, anything he didn't know, she, yeah, this how you do it, baby. She should be if she gonna record, she should be recording her daughter, learning how to cook at 8 years old, being proud of that, man. And you want to put some on social media, put that on social media, all right, to show other women how, they should be teaching their daughters how to cook as well, okay? But see, this is bullshit, man. And I'm not saying, go out and put it on social media, but if you're going to put anything on social media, she should have been happy. That's an example of other women or, households that teach their children, teach their daughters how to cook, not to be self-sufficient, but to cook. And so when they become when they becomes a man wife, they know what to do, man. They know how to hit that kitchen and get it done, man. But this whole process is not being done in the Israelite homes, man, because a lot of these Israelite homes is ran by the Israelite woman. And, she DoorDash. That's all she know is DoorDash. Instead of, taking out the time to teach her daughter how to cook, or, whoever how to cook, she's always in the streets, man. And, the kid, Mom, we hungry, DoorDash. Instead of taking out the time to show them, DoorDash. All she want to do is DoorDash. But hey, man, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the Lord's elect. I'm going to end giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekakodash. Until next time, Shalom.